All right, welcome to show 4 of the Coach's Office. We're here today with Cedric Cook with Get It In Apparel. This is our 4th show, and what a way to start it off. This is a
Man,
great weekend of basketball, great weekend of the upsets with San Diego State. I don't know if it was too much of an upset or it was just
nah,
a hell of a game, you know?
yeah, there's no upset there. That was just a great game by two great teams and one of them had to go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah. One of them had to go. Well, you got. Yeah, I bet you Bill McCullough right now is going crazy with his San Diego team.
oh yeah,
San Diego State, he's out there getting more Aztecs gear as we speak. But that was a hell of a game last night, and UConn's just on a roll. They're steamrolling everybody.
yeah, yeah,
So that should be a good game.
absolutely. Today was incredible. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah,
just a good weekend for sports in general, man. A lot
yeah.
of stuff going on. So,
Yeah, big shout out to LSU, also the women. They
yeah,
um they beat
a
Iowa.
tough Iowa team.
Yes, yes, and there's a lot of smack talking out there, and seeing on there was stuff being posted up.
Yeah, between Kaylin and the girl from Reese from LSU.
She,
Absolutely.
she was like pointing at her finger.
Yeah, she said you can't see me. She gave it back to her. Rightfully so. Rightfully
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's cool. It's all fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
for
all
sure.
fun. But yeah, congratulations to the LSU Tigers.
Absolutely.
They won the national championship, and good luck to both teams tomorrow
Yeah.
as they take it on for the national championships. And Cedric, we had there was a red zone tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
I know it was a crazy weekend. It's
Yeah.
hard to get up there for us. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely. Absolutely.
how are you liking those red zone tournaments?
Red Zone's cool, man. We have a lot of teams out there that show us love as far as their apparel goes, man. So we're always out there to support them and show them some love. So we try to get out there as much as we can. Red Zone, so they're always going on. So it's hard to make everyone, for me at least, to come from down in Tucson, get up there and make that for those 2 days in general. So, but man, no, it's a good thing. It's dope, man.
Yeah.
They do a lot of good work, and like I said, there's a lot of great teams there, and we like to go out there, show our guys support as much as they support us. So that's what we love that.
So a lot of people they want to. We've been seeing the GI2 Get It In apparel logo coming out. I mean that thing is popping out everywhere. They're
Blessed,
like they want to know like who's doing this Get It In? Who's
yeah,
this GI2?
man,
It's like shit. Well, shit, let's let Tucson know. Get
for
a
sure.
little background.
For sure, man. So, as you said, I'm Cedric Cook. I'm half of Getting in Apparel. I'm here along for the ride. To be honest with you, man. It's the brainchild and the vision of Donnie Bunyan. Great friend of mine. I call him my older brother. We're the same age, but man, he's such a visionary, and so masterful, bro. What he does. It kind of started with him. Excuse me. Coming up with the concept way back in 2009, man. So we've been
Yeah.
going at it for a long time, just kind of grinding it out there in the barbershop and using that phrase. And it really just means everything we do it to the utmost is what Get It In stands for, the mantra, wholeheartedly. And it also, drives to inspire, motivate, create success for yourself and others around you. That's what the whole brand means. That's what we strive to do every day. And then, it started out kind of just with the entertainment aspect, man. We did music back in the day, man.
Oh yeah, all
Bro.
right.
We were trying to live out our dreams and, be some hip hop stars. And so it was cool though, man. It was a lot of fun. We did some shows out here locally. And so we started just kind of wearing the shirts during the performances because it was Get It In entertainment, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so we just wearing the T-shirts around, and everybody was like, "Oh, I want one of those," and that kind of thing. So we're giving away, you know what I mean? And then slowly moved into slinging them out the backpack and out the back of a trunk, man. $5, $10 here, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. You know what I mean? So we were hitting the ground running, doing it like that, and then slowly transitioned into women's wear, and because women love to shop, and they're the biggest market. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we transitioned into that a little bit, probably around 2012 ish, and then really kicked into the uniform game shortly after that, man. And then since then, it's kind of long story short, bro. It's been taking off ever since,
Yeah.
man. We dropped our website probably like 2016, 17. And since then, like that's kind of when things really shifted, and just been blessed ever since, man. We've been blessed to have some NFL stars kind of in it at the same time, and that's not who we use to reach the masses. It just kind of happened that way. So we've been blessed to do that. And, our main goal is to always reach out and mentor kids. And that's the gateway. And that's what Get It In Apparel is about, is reaching the kids and mentoring the kids and being there for them. And that the uniforms help with that for sure.
Yeah. So are you originally from Tucson, or?
Yeah, man. Grew up here. Went to, military kid a little bit, but my family's from here. But born in Hawaii, moved here, and went to Reynolds. So East Side kid all day, every day. Went to Reynolds, went to Carson Middle School, which is no longer there. Both of those are gone, which is sad to see. Went to Santa Rita, which is even bigger, let down a little bit. Sad to see that, but trying to do some things with that too. But that's a little further down the road. But yeah, so grew up and graduated from Santa Rita High School. Played football there. I did baseball. I wish I would have went to the baseball game. I love baseball a little bit more than football, but I did baseball when I was younger, all the way to the high school ranks, and then just played football and enjoyed that, and went to Phoenix Community College a little bit, and then tore my knee, and that was the end of that, brother. That was the end of that. So
it's crazy because we talk about you're talking about you're in the music business, and it's just, I don't know. Recently, I've just been meeting a lot of people that have been in the music business, and I hear, today you're telling me you were doing the music thing, the hip hop thing, and then we got our engineer in Chris back here. He was a DJ.
We were talking about that earlier. We were kind of chopping it up about that, and we realized that we kind of went in the same circles in the DJ arena, so back in the day. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then I don't know if do you know Dexter?
No.
Dexter Horn, he has the Pitbulls organization. Also at the Raiders. He was in the music thing, too. He spoke about, I've known him for a while, and he opened up like for Too Short and all these guys.
Yeah.
I know these young people know about Too Short.
No, they don't.
They don't know
they might not.
that.
I think he's coming here. He might already came. Him and Ice Cube were coming here. But we did. We opened up for Pastor Troy. I don't know if you remember who he was from Atlanta.
Yeah.
He carried that little WCW heavy championship belt around. We opened up for him. You know what I mean? So we did the same stuff, man. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of shows. We had a good following, bro. I think I'm not one to brag, but we had some of the best turnouts for those local shows, man. I ain't gonna lie. We were doing some stuff there.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty fun. But how has it been jumping into the sports apparel with Get It In? Like at first, like, who was one of your first teams that came to you and started getting uniforms and being like, man, we got to do this more? What?
True, man. To answer your first question, man, it's been a challenge, but it's been fun. It's been inspiration, man. I've learned so much. We've learned so much, and we've just been students of the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's something that we love. We love doing. And so it kind of just, man, it's hard work. I tell you that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of hard, as we were just speaking about off camera. Was what we did with you guys in the All-Star game. So but we get it done, and so man, things have taken off tremendously in the last few years. Last year was probably one of our busiest years that it comes down to for football season. So definitely learned a lot there, and hoping for to double that though. We don't shy away from it. We welcome all the challenges and stuff like that it brings, and so. Man. So it's been great. Some of the first teams, man, we had quite a few, man. We've done a lot of 7-on-7 stuff. Really was where it came down to the first time. Then we slowly transitioned into, the full uniforms.
Full tackle.
Yeah, tackle. So 7-on-7 was one of our biggest ones, and a lot of them, with GGE and. Things like that, and a lot of teams out in Phoenix, Ace Training, Cobra Kai, things like that, man. They're some of the ground. They laid some of the groundwork for us, man, and just really tapped in and the Outlaws too, as well, out in Phoenix. All those teams out there, man. They really honed in and it was all just about relationship building. You know what I mean? It was all about the relationships that we had prior. That Donnie himself created out in Phoenix, and then myself out here in Tucson, and just knowing who we are and that kind of thing, and so yeah, so we kind of just leveraged that, and they, you know, they were gracious enough to allow us to be some of the, you know, to be some of our test dummies in those arenas,
Yeah.
trying it out. You know what I mean? So, and we just kind of slowly transitioned to that and gotten better and better, and you know, again, blessed to have so many more teams, you know, rocking the GI2 everywhere, man, and couldn't ask for more, bro.
Yeah, no, I bet. We're my son participated with the culture organization with the 7-on-7s with Benji.
Yeah,
And
that's our guy
yeah,
out there too.
yeah, man, he got all these uniforms, and he comes out with this Looney
The
Tunes
Looney
uniform.
Tunes, right?
And I was like, the kids are all hyped, and I'm like, man, do you guys even know what Looney Tunes is? I was like, you know, but
Yeah.
hey, man, they loved it. They were hyped up, and I see, you know. You got Cam doing his thing with GGE also. I mean
Yeah.
they come out with some nice stuff too. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I know you've done a lot of good things with them also.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
man, and you know that was one of the biggest ones, obviously, just because he's got so many teams under his belt. You know what I mean? And so that feeding that whole organization like that was cool, man. It was a lot of fun to do. To create those, especially the ones now that he's got on, the blue and the red and gray ones, just come from scratch, and those are his ideas, and so we just kind of bring them to life. That's really what it's about. Is we get ideas from you guys and who wants it, and we just kind of bring it to life, and that's the fun part for us, is letting everybody see like what we've created based off of their vision, and we want to bring that again to life. So that's what we do.
All right, yeah. So you see, we see all these uniforms, and I mean, these things are freaking awesome. They're nice. I like them. You know, they're
Appreciate
just the artwork, everything, and they're done in a timely manner too. You know, I know sometimes people try to get it. Hey, I need them by tomorrow, but it
Right.
doesn't work like that. You know, but
I wish.
yeah, right. But I mean, being part of some of the organizations that you've serviced, like you've helped, they're never late. Those ones were never late. So I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I get questions about, you know, hey, do they just do sevens uniforms? Do they just do tackle uniforms?
Yeah.
Do they do? Are you getting into basketball? Maybe softball, baseball.
Yeah, so we
Volleyball.
one thing we always say is we can make whatever. If you want something for your dog, come get it. We'll get it. We'll get it done. If we don't know how to do it, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
whatever it is, yeah. So we do, you know, we've done a lot of basketball. You know, we do a lot of the AAU teams, youth teams, some high school ranks. One of our first basketball teams was back in the day, Tucson High. You know, they did some of their warm up years and stuff like that. And so yeah, man, it's just we do, like I said, the Strikers is a baseball team we do out here. We're just recent in soccer with Walden Grove. So Coach Bosley and his girls out there, man. So appreciate that look. You know, and so yeah, man, any sport that you have or anything that you need, like we can get it done. That's just the bottom line. And you know, thankfully we're working on some cheer uniforms right now too. So you know, and so those are in the works, and you know, we've already done some, but you know, and those are a little tougher. You know, we need a little more time on those. So give us a little bit, but we're working through it. But yeah, man. So it's just man, like I said, we're blessed, bro. Like that's the word I keep using, because we're blessed, and that's what it is.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching right now, if you guys had any questions about, you know, or one of your questions was that, you know, does he do anything different than sevens or tackle? There you go. I mean, he'll get into whatever sport, get in. We'll get you in the right uniform.
Absolutely.
That you need, and make the kids look good, feel good, play good, right?
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, and that's the biggest joy that we get out of it, is seeing the kids' faces. You know what I mean? Yeah, granted, you know, we get the exposure, but going out there, and that's one thing we like to do is, as you know, we like to hand deliver the stuff. We don't send you tons of boxes and say, here you go. Like, we like to come out, hand deliver it, and let the kids see it. And we get joy out of seeing their faces and how happy they are when those uniforms come in and stuff like that. So absolutely, man, that's what it's about for sure.
Yeah, I know. We did our first time working with you. I guess we had the Tough All-Star game.
Man, that was incredible.
That was something that just happened in a 3-week span. We're out there, you know, just running back and forth, trying to get everything situated. We're like, oh, dude, the uniforms. Yeah. We're like, who do we go through? And it's like, man, who can get them done? We called a few people, and they were just like, no, we can't get them done. No, we can't get them done.
Yeah.
And we had got a reference referred to you.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, I'll get them done. And within 10 minutes, we had already a mock-up.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah.
those are bad. We said some other ones like, we say those are nice. We didn't say it like that.
For sure. Sure.
They came in less than 2 weeks that we're in. And they were tackle uniforms. We're looking at, about 70 of them.
Yeah.
And the kids were just hyped up with it. They were like, damn. And I know people with parents in the stands, they were like, man, we can get the,
Yeah.
So, we said, get it in.
Yeah, man. Nah, like I said, that was such an incredible thing. So, again, we appreciate you guys for reaching out. And the events you guys put on for the kids was just incredible in itself. But to be a part of it was even more inspiring for us again, you know what I mean? And just real quick, if I can just tell a story about that whole situation. And why we do what we do. So I was at the airport. I'm working at the airport and doing some stuff there. And I'm inside waiting on some people to come out, and I see some kids walking by in a couple Jags shirts, you know what I'm saying? And so, and then I'm like, I stop and say, hey, are you guys playing in the? This was right before the All-Star game, like week before.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, you guys are gonna play in the All-Star game this weekend? I see you guys got on some Jag stuff, and they're like, yeah, I am. One of the kids was like, yeah, and I said, well, the shirt that you're wearing and the uniforms that they're gonna be like, I did those. You know what I mean? My company did those. Get It In Apparel, and he was like, his eyes like lit up, bro. Like I've never seen anything like it in my life. His eyes like, you're Get It In, and I was like, yeah. He was just so like, man, I appreciate, because he, again, for the Jazz, that's one of the biggest organizations. We do every age group for them.
Yeah.
And so it's a huge organization. So, big shout out to them, and we appreciate them, and the love for them, the relationship we have to them is dope. So, but anyway, he was like, man, we appreciate you so much for what you're doing and what you've done for us, man. It's so cool. Thank you so much. I love everything that Get It In Apparel does. I was like, oh, man, it's all good. And I showed him my tattoo and everything. He's like, so they were just excited, man. And then, so I go outside. I'm done doing what I'm doing inside, and I go outside, and then I turn around, and they're standing right behind me. I didn't even know. And like, can I get a picture with you? I was like, of course, man. You know what I mean? And so that right there lets me know, like, lets us know, like, that's what we do it for. Yeah. That reaction. And I've never had anybody ask me to take a picture for, you know what I mean, like that. So it was cool for me, but at the same time, it was just that reaction that we got. That I got from that one guy, man, it was dope, man. And so that's what keeps us going. That's what motivates us to do what we do, man. And it's just those feelings right there for sure.
There you go. What are like some of your future plans? Do you guys plan on expanding a little bit more? Maybe getting I don't know, like a shop or something like that. Do you have any future plans like coming up? Any maybe locking in high schools down or?
So we do. So right now we have Casa Grande. As a high school. So yeah, obviously the goal is to always grow. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate goal, is to get bigger and better at what we do. So yeah, we, tackling the high school range. So we have some high schools too that they do, like Sabino and Cienega. They don't do uniforms yet with us, but they do other stuff with us. And so, we're not always about just getting uniforms. Our main goal is really just to get out and talk to the kids, man. And that's really what it boils down to. If the clothes were to stop today and the uniforms would stop today, we still have a platform to go and do what we were set up to do, which is mentor the kids and get out and support the kids and what they're doing. And that's really what it is. And so, but yeah, future plans, man, always to grow and be bigger at what we're doing. And to get a warehouse, of our own to kind of to keep the machine running. Yeah. You know what I mean? Would it be cool? Absolutely. Yeah. Is that what we need right now? Who knows? Probably not. We know we're doing what we're doing so far. We're making it work. But, if we're blessed enough to tap into that for sure, stores and all that, storefronts is always good too. Yeah. So being in those is cool. And that's another venture that we're looking at. But yeah, man, just to keep the brand going, but at the same time, keep reaching out and pouring into these kids is really what we're here for. Yeah. So, like I said, if that's where the road takes us, that's where we're at. And like if we shut down production today, we keep going. Yeah,
and I could see that happening. I mean, you guys are gonna grow. You're gonna grow because of the way you guys do go about your business, the way you are. Like I can tell right now, like you guys, you have a good heart.
Yeah.
You have a good heart, and with that, that'll take you everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And you know that's good, man. Yeah, I can tell right off the bat.
Yeah, no,
And
man. Like, yeah, I appreciate it, brother.
yeah,
And that's really, like I said, that's what we set out to do. And so, as long as we have that and we try to do things the right way, and we don't always get it right,
yeah,
but we make it right, and that's how we operate, and that's what we stand for. You know what I mean? We don't like, so we don't always get it right, but we make it right, and that's what solidified us, and that's what keeps us going in that way.
that's what's up, man. See, if you guys have any questions, you guys watching, you have any questions, just type it in there, and we'll get them answered for you as best as we can. Also, we're going to shoot out some information. Also, if you want to get in contact with Get It In with Cedric Cook, we'll have the information on our coach's office or Pop Studio. You can get a hold of them, or we can also throw it on. Let's see, Chris put it on SoAZ for the everybody that's in the high school ranks right there. So maybe chime in right there. But we'll have all that info. And do you have anything you want to? Any events coming up that you're involved in?
I mean, not really. We just had our first ever 7-on-7 tournament that we put on as Get It In Apparel. So definitely want to shout that out, and all the teams that were involved in that. Man, we had 27 teams for our first one, bro.
Yeah.
And that came together about a week and a half.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So so that was over about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Shout out my sister for coming up down here and helping out, and everybody that was out there to help out. And it went off without a hitch, bro. And but as far as events that we're a part of, not really, man. We're just you'll see our uniforms out there all the time at every 7-on-7 event coming up, and then you'll catch us out there again supporting the kids. And one of the kids that we really support, man, is Van Burchak, man. From he played for the Jags, and now he's at South Point, and he's just a beast out there, man. He's a kid to watch. I'm sure you probably know him, and
Yes.
the kid has such a great heart too, and we go out and support him as much as we can. But he's through what we've done and the kind of the path that we've taken, he's actually started his own clothing line underneath the Get It In umbrella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. So shout out to him for doing that, and just look out for him, man. I'll let him go through that, and maybe bring him on here and let him talk about that too. So
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
but yeah, no, but so that's kind of where we're at, man. We just branching out, doing different things, but hopefully we're gonna be looking into doing another 7-on-7 here shortly.
Yeah.
Between Tucson and Phoenix, both. And so we'll be out here, man. But yeah, that's really it. Just you'll see us around. You'll see the GI2 backpacks everywhere. So you see that, come say what's up, man. We'll be out there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then on that same note with Van, I've seen that kid playing, since he was young, he was younger, and where you see Van, you see his mom. His mom is always she takes pretty good pictures
She's
too.
great at it. She's done a lot for us too in that realm.
Yeah, she also will. You can contract her, if I'm not mistaken, and go take pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, because she worked with you guys for your event for the Tough. Yeah.
Yeah, she was out there, and there was a bunch of nice pictures. I mean, great action shots, and
she does good work, man. She's all there, and they represent so hard for us, bro. Like, I wish I could do more for them, what we've done for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They go so hard for us, man, and it's such a blessing to have them in your corner, and just to see that kid kind of grow and get better and better and more hungry at what he does, man. It's and again, that's why we're here. That's what we do. That's evident of what we're doing. Like that's evidence right there of why we're here. You know what I mean? So I love it.
All right. So, Cedric, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to out there before we wrap this thing up right here? If there are any questions anyone has still, we'll get them answered
for sure.
But
man, just obviously Donnie out in Phoenix, man. They couldn't be here without him, and then everybody, his family, my family, for all the support they've given us over the years. My sister, she's riding every day. She's here right now taking pictures and kind of hanging out. Just all the supporters, man, all the teams. I wish I could go through every team that wears. I mentioned a few throughout the day, throughout the night, this podcast here that is that kind of supports us. And so, you know what I mean? So there's such a long list, bro. But yeah, just anybody that has worn the gear, bought the gear, looked at it, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, bro. If you say, oh, I know who that is in the streets, just anything that anybody has done, man, we appreciate it so much. All the teams, all the parents, man, it's such a blessing to be a part of it, man. And like I said, if I this would take up the entire podcast. Thank you to so many people, bro. So yourself, you guys, and what you guys did, man. I can't say enough about it, bro. So just the teams that I mentioned so far, and that's it, bro. So far, so I don't want to leave too many people out. I don't want to get in trouble.
Hey, so I got a question.
Yes, sir.
What was it like? Just because I know you've done so many different uniforms and stuff like that. One of the things that you were actually able to be a part of was the Senior Bowl with Rodney Cox and the Game Time Bowl, and that was a huge event, like 80 some odd people. And I heard that once again another uniform rescue, like you were able to kind of get those things all easy to work with, stuff like that. So what is kind of like some of your experiences with some of these teams, like, and even what's some of the downfalls?
Sure. Big shout out to Rodney, bro. Like that event was crazy too. It was kind of on the same long lines as yours. It was like last minute. Not on the fault of you guys or Rodney. It's just the timing of it. Once the season's over, you got to figure out who can play. You know what I mean, and get a roster together. So all that takes time. So once that was set in place, man, we just hit the ground running again. And when you're in this business, you know what I mean. There's hiccups, and it happens. You know what I mean. And all we can do as a company is, like I said before, make it right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it worked out. You know what I mean? And so, man, that event alone was just incredible. And it was shout out to Rodney, bro. And we're gonna continue to do work with him and Tough as well. So. But yeah, man, working with the teams is great, man. And you start to build relationships with these people because you're on the phone all the time with everybody, man. It's a constant communication back and forth, whether it's getting sizes or they change colors or whatever the case may be. It's the stuff that people don't know about, man. But on all the behind the scenes stuff. But again, we don't shy away from it. We know it's part of the business. We're students of the game, and so we just make sure that we bring, again, the vision that the people that we're talking to, we bring that to the forefront, and they get to see it firsthand.
And your apparel, you're not just doing football, and I think that's something that people always tend to happen too. They kind of want to take somebody and pigeonhole them into a certain thing. But like I've heard you do basketball uniforms, that you're doing, any type of, pretty much, if you can wear it.
That's what I said. You have people put their little sweaters on dogs, man. We got it. Like, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But no, outside of the uniforms, we also have not just an athletic apparel brand. That's how it started. We have leggings, sports bras for women. We have shirts, dry fit, compression, whatever it is, like hoodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you want, we got it. That's just the bottom line. We're just that's where it goes. And so we do, and we wanted to create something that's for everybody.
No, so you know what? That brings up an interesting question. Question for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you and me, Angel's over there. He's a big guy too. It's larger individuals, right?
Yeah.
But also females. Mm-hmm. Do you do a lot of plus size stuff like that for these females that are even guys?
Let me get close here, man. Listen, we have a lot of gear for plus size, whatever you want to call them, bigger women, man, and so a lot of people don't, and that's, we post pictures obviously of people wearing stuff, and so a lot of it is people that are in shape or working out, but don't get it twisted. Yeah. We have stuff.
So
for
what you're
everyone.
saying is you got stuff to help get them there.
Everyone, and even if not, if you just wanted somewhere that looks cool, man, rock it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's there for. So it's, and so, we have plenty of that. So, go to the website, man. It's getititapparel.com, simple, and go check it out, man. You got a whole laundry list of things, and, if it's not there, let me know. We'll get it to you. That's no problem. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sweet. So we can make it.
Hell yeah. Well, you got any other questions, Chris?
Man, I mean, you pick my head for as long as you want. But one thing, you know what? I've been sitting here with your sister for a hot minute, right?
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about you doing like the music thing, right? What was the name? I asked her, I go, what was the name of your brother's group?
Oh, it was just Get It In Entertainment. That's all we went by every time. We didn't have nothing. It was Get It In Entertainment. We showed up, we showed out, and we and we set it off, bro. Like let me tell you. So Donnie. So we had like 2 other artists too, like under us. Like it was crazy. Like we were just like making a movement. It was just crazy.
So what'd you go by?
Get It In Entertainment.
No. What'd you go
Oh,
by?
me personally.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, man. I'm big set all day. That's it. Like it's on the back of my shirts too. Back in the day,
What was Donnie?
DB.
Okay.
Yeah, just DB. But man, let me tell you. And funny story is like, and doing that music stuff, man, it was so much fun. And he'll tell you, like, he's not shy about it at all. Like, he did all the rapping. Like, really,
Right,
I was the hype man. And he would tell you, I knew his lyrics better than he did when we were up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was so much fun. And we have video footage, we have pictures, like, but that was a fun time, honestly, bro. It was just getting to know ourselves and just having fun out there. But that's how the brand kicked off. And so that I'll never shy away from. I always tell stories about that because that's where we started. That's just what it is. And so, but within the music too, we were still having, within those musics and those CDs, there was motivational and inspirational messages in the breaks and stuff like that. So we've always been motivating. We've always been talking about success and moving forward and getting better and bettering yourselves and bettering others. So that's really what the music was about too in that. So it's all been the same message from day one to now, and it's going to continue that way. So
I was just laughing because like I was like sitting there. I was like, yeah, I went by DJ Aspen.
Oh, okay.
And then
Now I know who you are like that. So I know you by Chris, but DJ Aspen is the name that I heard forever and ever and ever growing up, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and then
I'm in royalty right now. I'm in front of royalty.
and like I don't talk about it because like people are like, oh wait, what? And it's like and then like when I start talking about Pearl and all these other hot spots that these people was going to, yeah. So it's interesting. Like so, there you go. Now all of a sudden pieces are starting to fold.
Yeah,
there you go.
No, definitely. Nah, that was a
funny.
good time, man. That was good stuff.
All right. Well, so we'd like to thank you for being in here today,
Yeah,
Cedric.
man.
We appreciate you, everything you're doing for the community, what you do for these kids, what you do for here in Tucson and Phoenix, all of Arizona.
Yeah.
And we grateful for having you on the show today. If there's anything you ever need out here, you know where to hit us up at. You know where we're at.
Man, it's all love, bro.
And we got all support for you guys and what you're doing out there, man.
Man,
So
I appreciate it so much. This opportunity was incredible, and when you hit me, I was like, man, I'm all in. Like, let's do it. So thank you so much for having this platform. Thank you so much for inviting me on it. And for having us, man, it was a great time, man. I appreciate you.
all right, brother. That'll do it. This is show number 4 with Get It In Apparel, Cedric Cook.
Man.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Chris, back there, the engineer, taking care of everything, making sure they're getting us right over there. And we'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. with show number 5.
Tune in.
We out.